every October, I play, every October, I get in Halloween spirit. I would watch some episodes of Tales from the Dark Side, and I would also play some Halloween themed games or horror themed games, to set me in the mood. Last year, like last Halloween, I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the first time, and I love the game. I think it's my favorite Castlevania game so far. I've played so far, and there are like other horror games I've played. This year, I received Resident Evil 4 and Retro Game Treasure. I looked into this game. I'm like, I heard some good things about this game. This is a game that's considered the best in the series. Maybe I'll finally give Resident Evil 4, or like any Resident Evil game in general, a chance. I played this game for the first 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, and I gave up. I just absolutely just could not get into the game. Maybe it's because I'm just so used to playing JRPGs. I'm not used to playing first person shooters or any shooters in general, and I just couldn't get into this game. And I just like I took the game out of the PlayStation 2. I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't play this game. So what game I did I play for the month of October? Well, I played a Castlevania game released on the Game Boy Advance. I believe it's Aria of the Soul, and it's not bad of a game. It reminds me of Symphony of the Night, as Castlevania games are starting to adopt this gameplay style of Symphony of the Night, and it's okay, but it's not as good. Like the problem with the soundtrack of Aria of the Soul is that the Game Boy Advance. I feel like there are like two different kind of music that came around during Game Boy Advance. There's that Game Boy Advance music that thinks, is just slightly better than the Game Boy Color, so it's not that great. But then there's like other Game Boy Advance music where they're like, the Game Boy Advance is actually capable of playing actual music, so let's make it sound like actual music. Aria of the Soul is in the first category. Like, it's okay, but the soundtrack to Aria of the Soul is just. It sounds like early Game Boy Advance music. It's a bit meh. And I also did play another Castlevania game, but I still couldn't beat the final boss. The final boss is just so hard, and that's Circle of the Moon. I went online and I read some comments about Circle of the Moon, and Circle of the Moon is just a game that's not that popular among the Castlevania series. Some say it's among the worst. Not as bad as Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest on the NES, but Circle of the Moon is said to be bad, kind of bad. I just find it okay until I got to the final boss. Like, yeah, this is ridiculously hard. I am level grinding my freaking ass off, and I can't beat the final boss, and I can't figure out strategy. So it's a game I played a great majority of it, like 98% at least, and I can't beat the final boss. But I've heard some of the soundtrack of Circle of the Moon, and it's in that later part of the Game Boy Advance, music library that actually sounds pretty decent. So you have Aria of the Soul, which is a pretty decent, it's a pretty decent Castlevania game, but it has a mass soundtrack. And then you have Circle of the Moon, which is just below average Castlevania game, but with a decent soundtrack. So those were the games I've played in the month of October, along with Resident Evil 4, which, despite being called the greatest in the series, made me realize I do not like Resident Evil. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a time in the future where I just hang out with somebody who's gonna, help me get through this game, who's actually played this game. But for the time being, I don't see any time in the future I'm going to play this game. I just don't see the appeal. Oh, and I need to finish this off with a have a nice day, stay positive, and subscribe. I need some subscribers.